Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome. And now it's time for Raw, Week 21, the first Raw after the SummerSlam pay-per-view later on tonight. Well, speaking of SummerSlam, the outcome of SummerSlam, CM Punk, the new WWE Champion of the Raw roster. Tonight, he faces off against Sami Zayn in non-title action, of course, at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. CM Punk defeated both Sami Zayn and former WWE Champion AJ Styles in a triple threat. And Punk, he is now a two-time WWE Champion. He is also the first-time two-time WWE Champion in numerous mode, and the first or two-time champion in general in numerous mode. So congratulations to CM Punk. Tonight he faced off against Sami Zayn in a non-title contest. And sort of a rematch from the triple threat at SummerSlam. Anyway, let's get on to some lane matches. As the first matchup, Trish and Bayley. Can Trish gain some momentum after her loss to Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship? And yes, she does. She picks up a victory against Bayley. And now next matchup, the Usos take on Breezango. Whoever wins this one definitely gets tag team momentum towards becoming the contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And it's going to be the Usos who pick up the victory against Breezango. And Intercontinental Champion Chris Sabin takes on The Miz in a non-title contest. Will Sabin get the victory? And yes, he does. Chris Sabin staying a strong Intercontinental Champion. And now moving on to your first contest of the night, first of two, X Division Championship rematch as Mari Skrull, he takes on Ricochet. Alright, here we go. So now, of course, at the SummerSlam pre-show, the first matchup of the SummerSlam pre-show, we did have Mari Skrull challenge Ricochet for the X Division Championship that Mari Skrull rightfully earned in a number one contenders matchup that he wasn't originally a part of, but then, attacking Manic backstage, taking Manic's spot, and winning the triple threat. And also, that was Mari Skrull's debut. And then at the SummerSlam pre-show, Ricochet retained the championship by countout. So in this matchup here, we're going to have a rematch. Hopefully, no more countouts, but Mari Skrull and Ricochet already on the outside of the ring. This is how Skrull originally lost. Ricochet just, kept Mari Skrull isolated on the outside of the ring. It was a very questionable victory for Ricochet. He kept Mari Skrull on the outside of the ring. And now Ricochet seems to be doing that again. Again, very questionable. This is not characteristic at all from Ricochet. This is very uncharacteristic. Whatever, as a matter of fact. And now, what a facebuster. X Factor by Mari Skrull, and Skrull can get backside the ring along with Ricochet. Now Ricochet misses the 450. Skrull on top of the rope misses the double X handle. They should definitely two amazing competitors. Of course, both which are part of the X Division. I don't know what Ricochet did there, but it failed. Well, he obviously did 450, but there. Now Skrull on top of the rope gets taken off of it, and now 630 gets caught. Skrull catches Ricochet midway through a 630 in a power drive, tombstone power drive type position, but Ricochet able to wiggle out of it. And they showed that was an amazing counter by Mari Skrull. And speaking of counters, nice counter to a spot buster. And now Skrull looking to become X Division Champion. Ricochet, he's been X Division Champion since the first time we could ever have a champion. I don't know what I'm trying to say. He's been X Division Champion for a very long time, basically. Since week 9, week 8, when the X Division title, or week 7, when it was originally, became a championship, and then we had the whole tournament, and Ricochet did win. Of course, that was before Mari Skrull even debuted in the Raw roster. But Ricochet's been holding the title for such a long time. He originally held as Prince Puma. He originally was Ricochet, then Prince Puma, and then turned back to Ricochet. So Ricochet just occasionally, I guess, switching personas. And right now, Mari Skrull has Ricochet up. Never mind. To the outside, Skrull goes. The villain Mari Skrull not doing too well in this matchup so far. This is looking very reminiscent of what happened at the SummerSlam pre-show. Back suplex on the outside by the X Division Champion of the Raw brand, Ricochet. Of course, the other respective lightweight or cruiserweight champions on the other rosters include new cruiserweight champion Rey Mysterio. He defeated Seth Rollins also in the SummerSlam pre-show. And also Chris Jericho being the new lightweight champion, defeating Neville in the go-home show of ECW before SummerSlam. So got new champions besides Ricochet, representing the lightweights, cruiserweights, and X Division, and X Division, I guess. Ricochet with the kick up, and that backfired big time. And now Skrull, can he take advantage of this? He could get a count victory, but of course he wins the matchup by count. But then Ricochet retains the championship and suplex onto the outside, onto the concrete. Bad landing for Skrull, and I think he's hurt. Holding on to his ribs now, and a count of vice for a short second. And now Mari Skrull, yep, he's holding on to his ribs. He is hurt. Skrull, that suplex to the outside, it was on the concrete. That's not a good landing at all for Skrull. We could still have Ricochet as the X-Division champion here tonight. This is Marty Skrull's rematch clause. So Skrull loses, then, he gets no more opportunities until he quite earned them once again. Climb up the power rankings, win on the number one contenders matchup, or just simply wait until Ricochet is no longer champion and make his title contention a little easier. Anyway, now Ricochet planned to throw in Marty Skrull on the outside ring, perhaps, but Marty Skrull, he had that one scouted out. Skrull, of course, he is known as the villain, but for this one, looks like Ricochet, he has a little bit of a questionable persona. Getting the count out victory over Skrull at the SummerSlam pre-show. And, well, almost had one earlier to kick off the matchup. Anyway, now Ricochet has him on Carbone Slam, takes him down, second time's the charm, the second attempt, the Carbone Slam by Ricochet, 2 count, and it's a 3 count. Still X-Division champion, ladies and gentlemen, is Ricochet, this time with a clean victory, non-questionable at all, ladies and gentlemen. Again, word, we have to hear from Trish Stratus backstage. She has won her matchup against Bayley, and now we're going to hear from the woman who faced off against Becky Lynch for the vacant Raw Women's Championship and lost, so we might as well go backstage. We need to hear words from Trish Stratus. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, while Trish did lose to Becky at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch, of course, the first ever Raw Women's Champion now, due to her win. Trish, she did gain a victory earlier on tonight, so that helps out her momentum definitely. And well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Trish Stratus asked the Raw General Manager Eric Bischoff, and it has now been confirmed. Trish Stratus is going to cash in a rematch clause against Becky Lynch on the next week edition of Heat, which is the Raw pre-show. So there we go, another big-time matchup added to Heat. Of course, last episode of Heat, we did have a failed 4-way number one contenders matchup earlier on today before Raw. And the winner of that one was Randy Orton. He is now number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. As for the next episode edition of Raw, Goldberg, he shall be on Raw, and he shall once again call out the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, also along with having a matchup for Goldberg once again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following for like a while in numerous mode, of course we did have, all the way back in week 12 I believe, we did have Lesnar finally debut in the Raw roster, and he did attack Goldberg after Goldberg's matchup against now NXT General Manager Batista. And well, I believe that's what happened, and if it didn't happen, well then that's unlikely. But whatever. So anyway, Goldberg, of course, he did renew the hostilities. He did answer back against Brock Lesnar. Of course, Goldberg and Lesnar, they then attacked each other for multiple weeks, having multiple one-on-one matches against other superstars, and then attacking each other after that. We couldn't have the matchup at SummerSlam due to the stacked card, but it has now been announced, ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, it will happen at Survivor Series, and next week, Goldberg shall acknowledge the matchup at SummerSlam. But anyway, time for your main event, ladies and gentlemen. Non-title WWE contest, WWE Champion CM Punk, he takes on Sami Zayn. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, main event time here on Raw. I know it's been like a very short episode of Raw, as you guys clearly see from the timestamp or whatever. So yeah, humorous mode. It's sometimes there's long episodes, sometimes there's short episodes. It really does depend. So yeah. Anyway, backflash here. This is a little bit of a nostalgic factor. CM Punk and Sami Zayn, the first ever matchup in humorous mode for the WWE Championship was between these two men back in Raw Week 2 for the vacant WWE title. And well, CM Punk, he did win that matchup. And then, of course, Punk later then lost it in Week 8 in a triple threat to Bobby Lashley. Lashley lost it to Styles in Week 12. And then, well, Week 20, SummerSlam pay-per-view, a couple of days ago, Punk wins back the WWE Championship. So Sami Zayn, of course, he's been hunting down the title ever since Week 1, basically. Him and Punk was able to fully hunt down the title and capture it before Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has still not captured the WWE Championship. A win against CM Punk here tonight in this non-title contest definitely proves that he deserves a title opportunity after the triple threat at SummerSlam. But of course, AJ Styles, former champion, he still has his rematch clause, and he could cash it in anytime he wants to against CM Punk Anyway, now moving on to the matchup. Punk off the neckbreaker knee. Just a shot with the knee right to the face of Sami Zayn. And now surfboard here saying, however, he's close to ropes. Knee strike once again to the back of the head this time of Sami Zayn. The WWE champion on a roll here. Sami Zayn just going to shove him. Zayn and Punk definitely very even. Two great competitors here on Raw. Three of the best competitors on Raw, of course, were in the triple threat for the WWE Championship. Before, the WWE Champion AJ Styles, CM Punk, and Sami Zayn. But of course, CM Punk now a two-time WWE Champion, the first ever two-time champion here in Universe Mode, which of course is a great achievement for CM Punk. First ever two-time champion in Universe Mode, first ever two-time WWE Champion in Universe Mode as well. Quite ironic that the first ever two-time champion also ends up being the one who ends up being the first ever two-time champion of the biggest title in Universe Mode. What a drop kick by Sami Zayn. And now Zayn on top of the rope, missed the spinning heel kick. Punk able to sidestep that one up, but Zayn is going to try to answer back. Sami Zayn, of course, he did earn the opportunity to be in the triple threat by defeating AJ Styles in a non-title contest. So did CM Punk. That was what the AJ Styles non-title open challenge was for. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, Punk and Zayn, basically, this is kind of the AJ Styles open challenge. Just one thing, we already knew the opponents, basically. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but whatever. Anyway, now Sami Zayn turning out the DDT, plants down the WWE champion. And now Zayn figure for the lock, looking to just apply more insult to the injury. But now CM Punk able to escape it. And now Sami Zayn bridges suplex here. Only a one count. And now Sami Zayn has some Hurricanrana. What a just chain amount of moves by Sami Zayn, but Punk with the reversal, 2 count, only a 2 count off the sunset flip. Punk almost stealing the victory here tonight, and now bridges suplex of his own, but this time with not the actual bridge, so I guess a regular Northern Light suplex. CM Punk, of course, he's been perhaps one of the best superstars here in Universe Mode. So that's AJ Styles. Sami Zayn, he's been on the 50-50 end, of course. He's been decent, but he's been bad at times as well. And right now, Sami Zayn, looking for perhaps a double hook. Whatever, I guess, I don't know. Perhaps a blue thunder bomb, I don't know. And now Sami Zayn, looking to gain some more momentum, gets the splash, barely connects with it against Punk though. And now Sami brings Punk back inside the ring. Punk was perhaps thinking to go on top. And now Sami, that is definitely a rope break for CM Punk. Punk now looking to just stay WWE champion as long as he could. For when he won it, he stood WWE champion for 6 weeks. Of course, losing in week 8 at the Live from Damage pay-per-view in the triple threat main event. So, yep. And then, of course, AJ Styles won it in week 12 against Bobby Lashley. So Lashley only held it for 6 weeks as well. No, he held it for 4 weeks. And then Styles, he held it for a total of 8 weeks. So now Punk looking to just beat those records. Punk held it for 6 weeks. Lashley held it for 4 weeks. Styles held it for a total of 8 weeks. So now the number to beat is 8 weeks. Number beats 8 or more episodes of Raw for CM Punk, and then he becomes the longest reigning WWE champion in the history of Universe Mode so far, at least. Specifically the WWE champion, because at this point the record has already been broken by the East WWE Tag Team Champions, former East WWE Tag Team Champions, of course Matt Morgan and Abyss. They held it for a total of 20 weeks until finally losing the titles to Eric Rowan and Luke Harper at the SummerSlam pre-show. So that was history. And right now, that was definitely history in the making. Punk now, the taunt, has Sami Zayn up and JTS. 1, 2, 3, Zayn running right into the clutches of Punk. And just like that, there we go, just like that, in the blink of an eye, CM Punk could hit that GTS and win the matchup with just a simple 3 count, like he just did against Sami Zayn. Ladies and gentlemen, what a matchup right there. Somewhat short, sweet, but simple. Punk once again defeating Sami Zayn in their second ever one-on-one matchup. Sami Zayn cannot just ever seem to get the victory against CM Punk. And Punk, well, he stays strong. He picks up the victory in the non-title contest. So we shall see what happens next week for CM Punk, for Sami Zayn, for AJ Styles. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, next week on Heat, we shall have the Raw Women's Championship being on the line, where Trish Stratus challenges Becky Lynch in Trish's rematch clause. So there we go. That's all for this edition of Raw Week 21. Next episode of Universe Mode will be ECW Week 21. Thank you all for watching. Catch you on the next one, and goodbye.